Rodarte, and then Greg Beffert, and then Butch Merriweather.
Kris Rodarte, Mohave County taxpayer. In Galatians 4:16, we read, "Have I then become your enemy by telling the truth?" At the last meeting, we witnessed yet another assault on the First Amendment. At the start of the call to the public, Chairman Angius, chomping at the bit, launched into a reprimand of we the people concerning our bad behavior at this podium. Itching to infringe, she announced a new set of rules regarding our right to redress. With righteous indignation, she scolded and admonished us. It took a motion from Supervisor Gould to calm her down and restore sanity. But ladies and gentlemen, this is tyranny. Trying to squelch our voices, attempting to crush opposing viewpoints, trying to shut us up for speaking against the support of any foreign government. This is what the founders warned us about, and it's happening right here in Mohave County. Speaking of those founders, here's what a few of them had to say. Benjamin Franklin, "Without freedom of thought, there can be no such thing as wisdom, and no such thing as public liberty without freedom of speech." John Adams said, "Let us dare to read, think, speak, and write." From George Washington, "For if men are to be precluded from offering their sentiments on a matter that may involve the most serious and alarming consequences that can invite the consideration of mankind, reason is of no use to us. The freedom of speech may be taken away, and dumb and silent, we may be led like sheep to the slaughter." Again, from Benjamin Franklin at age 16, "In those wretched countries where a man cannot call his tongue his own, he can scarce call anything his own. Whoever would overthrow the liberty of a nation must begin by subduing the freeness of speech, a thing terrible to public traitors." Ladies and gentlemen, America is in grave danger. We are on the verge of World War III. This is what shutting down our voices has led to. Those of us brave enough to stand for truth are being assaulted and will continue to be. It's only going to get worse. Mohave County, hear my voice, hear my words. We will not be silenced.
Okay, Mr. Beffert, and then Butch Merriweather, and then Don Martin.
Supervisors, for the record, Greg Beffert. The last meeting, we had the discussion that Kris just brought up about free speech. And since that time, I produced a video entitled Free Speech Hypocrisy. And it's up on my website at desertsagepodcast.com. I don't charge anything for my videos, never have, and I never will. So we can take the, commercial angle out of, the attempt to stifle free speech last time, Supervisor Lingenfelter. That angle isn't going to work for me. I'm not going to benefit commercially from my speech at all. Now back to, this political grandstanding that's going on here now, with this free speech issue. We had Supervisor, Angius talk about the COVID, debacle. She admitted that we overstepped. Supervisor Bishop here admitted that we made mistakes. If we had to do over, we'd do it again. Then she went and tried to minimize, her involvement of it as the chair, her role in it, and her responsibilities, and her knowledge as a law enforcement professional. And I talked to you about interviewing people in prison. It's the same tactics that psychopaths use. I know. Interview them in a California state prison. As a detective, same tactics. Minimize, deflect, all of it. Just, distract. And what we saw, at the meeting before when we talked about COVID, Supervisor Angius said, "Can we finally get these stickers off the walls, please?" I've been up here since October telling you about not only that, but the vaccines that are still in this community that you guys refuse to remove, that are no longer vaccines. and you know it. They're a danger, and you continue to support it. You should resign. You should resign. Supervisor Johnson, you should resign. You know, I've been up here telling the truth, and I get attacked online by these punk keyboard warriors who can't defend truth because they won't accept the truth. They won't look at themselves. Everybody wants change, but when it comes time to who's willing to change, then you hear crickets. And that goes for the Republican Central Committee. There weren't 5 Democrats up here during COVID. You can't blame them. This was 5 Republicans up here. You need to take a look at yourselves. We are the problem. And until you're willing to question what you thought was the truth, now that it's finally coming out, you know, are you willing to question your own truths? And if you are, you find out that what they did was wrong. Why am I the only one up here asking for the resignation? Why is that? Mohave County Republicans, conservatives, Christians? Why is that? Again, crickets. You want to examine your own beliefs? I'll be back.
And me too.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. I want to just address something that I heard Mr. Beffert say, and I want to say thank you for your comments today. The only thing I want to make clear is, if you look at the record, I've been absolutely 100% unwavering and consistent on anti-mask mandates, anti-small business closures, anti-mandated vaccinations. I believe very strongly, and I always will, in individual freedom of healthcare choice. Thank you.